The smallest puppy ever seen begs for help, when vet realizes why he bursts into tears. The smallest puppy ever seen begs for help, when vet realizes why he bursts into tears. Liam never imagined that one tiny sound would change everything. It was late evening in Cedar Grove, a small and peaceful town in the United States where life moved gently, almost slowly. The sun was sinking, its last orange glow brushing against rooftops and empty streets. Most people were already home having dinner with their families. Shops were closing, lights flickered behind curtains. Everything felt calm and quiet, exactly the kind of evening Liam loved after a long day at work. He stepped out of the grocery store, stretched his arms, and took in a deep breath of the cool evening air. His back ached from hours of lifting boxes at the warehouse, but this time of day always made him feel lighter. The streets were nearly empty. Cars hummed in the distance. A couple walked their dog across the road. A soft breeze rustled the dry leaves on the sidewalk. Then he heard it. A faint noise. So faint he wasn't sure if it was real. Maybe a bird, he thought. Or a piece of metal swaying. The wind often made strange sounds around the old buildings in Cedar Grove. But then it came again, this time clearer. A tiny, thin cry. Sharp yet weak. Almost fading. Liam froze. It wasn't a bird. It wasn't the wind. It was a plea. He turned his head and scanned the empty street. Nothing. The sound came again. A cry, of something very small, very scared. Liam followed the sound to the narrow space between the grocery store and the old hardware shop next to it. The alley was dark, cold, and smelled faintly of dust and old wood. Most people avoided walking there after sunset. But Liam didn't hesitate. Something inside him pulled him forward. He stepped carefully, trying not to make too much noise. The alley was so narrow he had to turn slightly to fit through. The cry came again, softer now, like even crying was too much effort. He crouched down. His eyes adjusted slowly to the dimness. And then he saw it. Lying against the cold cement ground was the tiniest puppy he had ever seen. So small he almost mistook it for a toy. Its body trembled violently with each breath. Its eyes were half open, glassy and lifeless, as if fading into the darkness. Its thin fur clung to its skin, damp and dirty. Liam's heart dropped. "Oh my God," he whispered, his voice trembling. He reached out slowly, terrified that even a gentle touch might hurt the tiny creature. When his fingers brushed its fur, he felt how dangerously cold it was, like touching ice. He could barely even feel the weight of the puppy. But he felt something else. His heartbeat. Fast. Unsteady. Fading. The puppy lifted its head the tiniest bit, then let out a cry so weak it nearly broke Liam. Its paw, so small it didn't even cover the tip of his finger, moved toward him as if begging not to be left alone. That was it. Liam couldn't walk away. He couldn't pretend he didn't hear that cry. He couldn't let this life disappear in an alley where no one would ever know it existed. "It's okay," he whispered. "I've got you." He gently scooped the puppy into his hands. It weighed less than a handful of leaves. He tucked it inside his jacket against his chest, trying to share whatever warmth he had. The puppy trembled but didn't fight. It curled up as if clinging to him, desperate for life. Liam hurried out of the alley and walked fast toward his apartment. His heart raced with every step, terrified that the little one might stop breathing in his hands. "Hold on," he whispered again and again. "Please hold on." By the time he reached home, his hands were trembling. He carefully placed the puppy on a soft towel on the kitchen table. Its breaths were shallow, uneven. Its small body rose and fell rapidly like it was struggling to survive every second. Liam ran to the fridge, grabbed milk, warmed it, and found a small dropper. Kneeling beside the table, he held the dropper near the puppy's tiny mouth. For a moment nothing happened. Then the smallest tongue appeared. It licked the dropper. Just a drop. Then another. Milk dripped down its chin, and Liam's heart clenched so hard he felt his eyes burn. "You're fighting?" he whispered. "Don't stop." After a few droplets, the puppy grew too tired to continue. Liam gently wiped its face and prepared a small box by lining it with a warm cloth and placing a heating pad under one corner, warm but not hot. He laid the puppy inside the makeshift nest. It curled into the cloth, exhausted but alive. Liam sat beside the box all night. He refused to leave it alone. Every rise and fall of its tiny chest felt like a miracle. Every twitch was a sign of hope. He didn't know how this puppy ended up alone in a cold alley. He didn't know its story. But he knew one thing. He wasn't giving up on it. Not now. Not ever. Before sunrise, Liam woke suddenly, his heart thumping with fear. He rushed to the box. The puppy wasn't moving. "Please, no," he whispered, voice cracking. He lifted the tiny body. It felt cold. So, too light. Tears blurred his vision. Then, a faint whimper. Barely audible. But it was enough to pull Liam back from despair. "You're here," he said, wiping his eyes. Thank you, thank you." But as he watched the puppy closely, he realized it was weaker than before. Its breaths were more shallow. Its paws barely moved. Whatever was wrong was getting worse. He warmed milk again and tried feeding it. The puppy took one drop. Then nothing. Liam knew he couldn't do this alone. He wrapped the puppy in a warm cloth, tucked it into his jacket, grabbed his keys and rushed out. He didn't care that he hadn't slept or changed clothes. All that mattered was getting help. He drove to the local animal clinic faster than he ever had before. Every few seconds he checked the puppy nestled against his chest. "Stay with me," he whispered. Almost there. When he pushed open the clinic door, the receptionist stood up instantly, her expression turning to shock. "Is that a puppy?" she asked. Liam nodded breathlessly. "Please, he's so weak. He won't last long." She didn't waste a second. "Dr. Rowan. Emergency." People in the waiting area stared in disbelief. A husky owner gasped. A teenager clutched her cat tighter. But no one said anything, they all saw how tiny the creature was. Dr. Rowan, a calm man in his 50s, rushed out. But the moment he saw the puppy, he stopped mid-step. "What? How?" he whispered. "Bring him in. Now." Liam followed him to the exam room and gently placed the puppy on the metal table. Under the bright light it looked even smaller. Its entire body fit in the center of Dr. Rowan's palm. The vet examined the puppy carefully. His calm expression slowly shifted, from surprise to worry to something Liam couldn't understand. "Is he going to make it?" Liam finally asked, voice shaky. Dr. Rowan took a deep breath. "This little one is the smallest puppy I've seen in my entire career. He shouldn't be alive at all." Liam swallowed hard. "He's severely premature," the vet continued quietly. "His heart, his lungs, everything is underdeveloped. A puppy this size rarely survives more than an hour after birth." "But he survived the night," Liam said, voice rising with emotion. "He's fighting. I can see it." "He is," Dr. Rowan agreed softly. "That part. I can't explain. Something in him refuses to let go." The receptionist wiped a tear. Even Dr. Rowan's eyes shone with emotion. But then the vet noticed something. A tiny mark on the puppy's stomach. A wound almost invisible. He leaned in closer, his face changing instantly. "Oh no," he whispered. "What is it?" Liam asked, panicking. Dr. Rowan's voice shook. "This puppy wasn't abandoned." Liam frowned. "What do you mean?" The vet turned the puppy gently to show Liam the tiny wound near its belly. "This mark, it's from a surgical tool. Someone tried to remove this puppy from its mother. Too early." "Someone did this?" Liam's voice broke. "On purpose." Dr. Rowan nodded slowly. "This puppy was forced into the world before it was ready. It was never meant to survive. This wasn't an accident. This was cruel and intentional." Liam felt sick. His hands clenched into fists. Why would anyone do that?" Dr. Rowan shook his head. "I don't know. But this little one has been through more than any newborn should." He lifted the puppy again and his voice trembled for the first time in decades. "And the fact that he's still fighting, it's a miracle. Truly." Liam felt tears rolling down his cheeks. "What can we do?" he whispered. "We fight with him," the vet said. "We give him warmth, oxygen, milk every hour. We monitor him constantly. It won't be easy. There are no guarantees." "I don't care," Liam said firmly. "Just save him." Dr. Rowan nodded, moved by Liam's determination. "Then let's begin." For the next hours they worked together, warming the puppy, feeding it drop by drop, giving oxygen. The puppy twitched weakly, responding to their efforts. But then the heart monitor beeped. The heartbeat was dropping. Fast. Dr. Rowan's face drained of color. No, stay with us," he whispered. The puppy gasped weakly, its tiny chest struggling. Liam grabbed its paw. "Fight. Please fight." Then suddenly, the heartbeat steadied. Slowly, then stronger. Dr. Rowan let out a breath he'd been holding. "He responded to your voice," he said in awe. "He's connected to you. He wants to live for you." Liam's tears fell freely. "Then I'm never leaving him." And from that moment, everything changed. Days passed. The puppy grew stronger, tiny but determined. Liam visited every day, holding him, feeding him, keeping him warm. The puppy recognized his voice, his touch, his heartbeat. One morning when Liam walked into the clinic, Dr. Rowan smiled, truly smiled. "He made it," he said. "He survived the impossible." Liam picked up the tiny puppy, now slightly bigger, eyes brighter, heartbeat stronger. It licked his finger gently, just like the first night. Liam whispered, "Welcome home, little miracle." And this time, it wasn't a desperate plea for help. It was a new beginning.